Ladies and gentlemen, I have no idea what's going on right now in Shanghai, but I do know there's Dota 2. In the midst of the chaos, we have Dota to anchor us and keep us sane. I'm LD. I'm joined here by Winter. We've got Team Spirit taking on Vici Gaming. A quick refresher, this is a best of 3 lower bracket match here in Group B. The loser will be dropped down and begin the larger main event bracket in the BO1s. They'll have to win 2 just to get into the BO3s. The winner will have 1 more shot at redemption in order to claw their way back to the winner's bracket. So with that, Winter, let's try to get our bearings here on this game. It has been probably an hour and a half pause at this point. So looking at the draft, looking at the way the teams are matching up, what are your thoughts? And actually, don't think, because we've got action here in the river. Off the bat, they're going to make the move here into FY. 2 Hero Shades comes out. Team Spirit looking for the early first blood, and they're going to get it on that squishy Crystal Maiden, now turning, perhaps, for more super. Going to be driven back by Godblack, so they will allow a potential aggressive maneuver here into the enemy jungle. Treant's going to usher Fenrir away, but it looks like in the end, Godblack is going to back off to his own big hip. Okay, Winter, you're allowed to talk now.
Oh, they didn't expect the aggressive tri lane from Team Spirit here. Or should I say aggressive dual lane from the Vici CK, leaving the Prophet to have a 1 versus 1 matchup against Tidehunter. They were not ready for that room fight there at bottom lane. And at top lane, however, Prophet also managed to grab the bounty rune at top. Team Spirit first blood, double bounty runes?
Off to a great start.
No, they didn't get the bottom bounty.
They got 1 bounty, yeah, but still a great start, obviously. And there's the Chen factor to worry about. Godblack does start with a smoke here, and he's bringing in a Centaur to the bottom lane. They may even look to make a move here. Seems like Team Spirit's getting aggressive. Ramsey's still only level 1, but this Crystal Maiden, very squishy, so FY is going to have to be safe. They move forward just a little bit. Morphling, not the easiest target.
Yeah, they are going to put a lot of pressure on this lane, and Morphling's not going to be able to farm as usual. And looking at the 2 other solo lanes as well, I think the other 2 matchups are also very favorable for Team Spirit. The Prophet Tide and that the Wind Ranger versus Ember. So the laning setup really good for Team Spirit right now.
Yeah, Ice definitely struggling here in the top lane. See, he's been harassed very heavily. Overall, the CS looking pretty good early on for Team Spirit. We'll have the 2-minute rune spawning relatively soon. Godblack still parked out here in the bottom lane. They've got their level 2 in the Chaos Knight, and that might be the go time call. FY tried to do a spot of dewarding here, but he is in danger as there is a dire observer ward that scouted him out. Godblack going to move in. Nothing else will force the Crystal Maiden back. The aggression continues here from Team Spirit, but it is delaying the Chen zone level progression a bit, and they're not converting this into any actual kills. The Morphling still farming well. Already 8-2, so FY, I'm pretty happy about that. They frostbite the Centaur Conqueror, and really going to slow Godblack down, so he is, in the end, going to take over another creep.
Yeah, it seems like the Morphling, like you mentioned, is still having a good time. He's on par with the CK, has 1 more CS in fact, and he's going to pull ahead more as the creeps go towards his towers. And the other 2 lanes, the Tide is still doing quite well, but Prophet would start to get ahead when he completes his phase boost. Then the lane would start to become really hard for the Tide. Right now, so far, the Chen is choosing to sacrifice his own farm, and they get a full 1-2 burning here, gets away from out. Chen is going to sacrifice full level progression just so that they want to be able to pressure the Morphling, but...
So, how are you expecting them to pressure? Because they're not getting kills right now. He's farming equally with the Chaos Knight. Is it pushing the tower? Should they be trying to focus more on killing the supports? What kind of pressure should we be seeing here from
I'm
Spirit?
not sure whether this is worth it though. Like, if you talk about the pressure I'm expecting, if you don't get any kills, I don't think it's worth it. Like, if they are going to commit the Chen at the bottom lane with the CK and the Wisp, I expect them to at least get kills. If they're not getting kills, I don't think it's worth it. PM is still killing the Chen creeps with the Frostbite.
And if you're just trading farm, a Crystal Maiden and a Chen's going to bring a lot more to the table come the mid-game. So, it does seem a little odd, but Godblack, recognizing that, is going to back his way off to the jungle now. Closing on the level 3, he does get a Wildkin.
There's another timing they can wait. They can wait for Afterlife to have level 6, and they fight at bottom, so he can actually assist with his ultimate. That would be the other timing that they can wait for.
Well, whether he goes back to the jungle or sticks around, it is coming. And the Chen is going to return immediately. He'll summon the Tornado. One lane we have not looked at really, or talked about, I should say at all, is that middle lane, where Iceberg is just dominating. 18-6, Super doing pretty well considering the matchup at 12-2, but he's forced to grab another salve here to keep himself sustained in the lane, and he's going to look for rune. Had a haste earlier, now he'll bottle a bounty. Yeah. They actually get the double rune spawn, and on that note, they are going to look for a kill mid. There's some potential here. Io does have a TP. Oh, we might see Always Want to Fly rotate in and turn this one around. They're already pressing forward. Iceberg does get caught. Immediate TP coming through. The chains are there as well. He's going to go for the TP out. The IO's there with the save attempt, and is going to be enough in the end. He TP all the way home to leave the IO in the mid lane, and Always Want to Fly maybe the one who pays for this. It's time for Afterlife. The turret chains around. Teleport in from the Nature's Prophet. He's going to isolate him with the Sprout. Gets the kill. Looking for a bit more. Super's in danger. Has no boots. He gets the 2-hero chain, but the Spirit almost finishes him off down to 45 HP. Is barely going to slide away. Even Birdie wants a piece of this action with the Fairy Fire saves Afterlife. He can't finish the job, so they force out the TP from the Morph lane. Absolute madness in the middle lane, but Spirit, they take it all. And they even managed to leave their Chaos Knight to farm bottom during the midst of this.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, Ice is farming top, so they got one kill. It's on the support.
Tower's taking a lot of damage in the top lane.
This is actually not really that great, you know, for them. So BG, despite giving up a support, is still getting a lot out of the map. And Afterlife right now, once again, TP is back to top lane, but I think Tide right now has assumed full control of the lane because Prophet, it always happens to Prophet when you TP away to help the other lanes. You can't really control your own lane anymore.
That's where you often see someone else take over the lane, but obviously nobody was in position to be able to do that.
Now they have the Nature's Wrath, so let's see whether they can actually make anything happen with it. So far I would say that all the time the champion at bottom lane hasn't really accomplished much for Team Spirit.
They're still leading here significantly when it comes to gold, but I think to your point, it feels like they could have done a lot more. Bottom lane, on Defender, they will go. They manage to isolate him, try to control him. The Nature's Prophet bounces through, they get the bench kill, but it costs them an IO. Now hunting for burning, he's trying to strength morph here, but I'm not sure it's fast enough. Ramses has another stun, slams him in the face, and that will be a second kill. 4-1 the score, but again, Ice up top. Been left alone, and the Lonely Mountain is going to take a tower here as well. Gets the last hit, 1600 gold Winter, so that potentially, it looks like probably a fast blink dagger could be coming out.
The timing, the Prophet is coming online, but at the same time he's doing this at a price. Like he's getting kills for his team, but Tide on the other hand is getting a lot as well. Like he gets the tower. Not sure what he actually wants to go for.
Super's making a move in bottom. And as he does that, they also dive the tower, trying to isolate. That's why they get the crusading kill, but reinforcements are arriving, teleports are coming, they have the Ravage ready. Spirit grouping up for 3 heroes on top of that Ravage. They'll be punished. Always Want to Fly going down here in a matter of seconds. Afterlife should be next. Unless he can match the TP out, that's not going to happen. So Vici Gaming, quick counterplay there, get the 2 global heroes, and they shut down the aggression. Really overstayed their welcome there.
Yeah, there was like the Tide coming into the play with his Ravage, and he seems like he's going for Aether Land after the Tranquil Boots. He needs like a mana item.
Yeah, he saved a lot of gold, and you know, normally we have seen sometimes go for the fast mech, but you always get the Arcane Boots if you're...
Yep, I mean he just wants to have the sustain when he was laning against the Prophet earlier because he was taking a lot of damage from
right lane. Find Iceberg. Super moves in. Chain's ready, hanging onto them for now. Doesn't want to see any TP shenanigans, and Iceberg kept alive. I Always Want to Fly. This kill is not turning out to be as easy as expected. Good control there on the tether, but it's simply not enough. The turn comes. Afterlife teleporting over the top. The Sprout's appeared super out of mana, has no remnants. Could be in danger. That Sprout's going down. 3 seconds to go. They can do it with auto tech. The Chun stuns coming in. An army of Mud Golems on the hunt. The secondary Sprout through. It also blocks Ice, and they continue pursuit. Now the Hadouken. Again, the boulder stuns from these pest Mud Golems. Running Ice down. Spirit after Spirit. Penetrating his armor, and eventually they ate Watermelon. God bless, just clipping level 6 on the back of this is going to get the Hand of God off, which prevents the counter kill from Vici Gaming. Beautiful chain of events for Spirit.
Man.
Another 1,000 gold swing.
Always Want to Fly, the man of the hour there, delaying the death of the Wind Ranger long enough so that the Prophet can have enough time to actually come in and get 2 kills there for his team.
For the Chen to rotate in as well. Everything just hit the timing there for Team Spirit.
Yep.
It works out beautifully.
BG without the Ravage that was actually not able to fight. So Ice is actually going back for Grease on top of the Tranquil Boots. I mean, I guess it's still fine. He's just basically going to go back for the normal build, just that he spent a good amount of cash on the Tranquils just for the laning phase.
Yeah, the way he itemized it first, it seemed like maybe he wanted to rush Blink, but then you're just a Blink Ravage and you cast 1 Anchor Smash and you're basically done. So he goes back for their Arcane Boots, going now into what appears to be a mech. They're expecting the Spirit push to come, obviously, and in order to fight into that, they don't really need initiation. They already have Ember to start fights, they have Morphling in the bench who can, so it's more about sustaining through the fights, it seems, and see if the mech comes out in time to turn the tides.
Because they'll be up against the mech from the Chen in the near future, so Vici building their own mech
Smoke from Vici.
is gonna help them fight. So they're gonna smoke right now. Ravage is online, so they want to be able to gain some sort of advantage, place a deep ward in the enemy
Oh,
territory.
they just saw the Wind Ranger just for a second there. The smoke's gonna break. They get eyes on Iceberg, but the Chen's behind him can send it back if need be. And Super a bit slow on the Remnant cast there and just not in range anyway. Won't be able to find him, and this frees up the top lane. Uh-oh, perhaps they look for the push, but Vici still with 2 hero smoke are gonna move there, but they see the Crystal Maiden skating through the river, courtesy of an observer ward up on the hill, and they know something's up. They're relocating. FY turns the other way. Oh, leave me alone! Not so fast. Crystal Maiden, down she goes. Easy pick there, and the first relocate. The momentum is really going now for
This
Spirit.
is looking really, really good for Team Spirit. All of a sudden, they get picks, they get towers. Like the movement of the team with the Prophet and the relocate is starting to take a toll on Vici, because Vici want to fight as 5 heroes.
Fishing with the Shackle bottom. Iceberg does have a double damager, and even through the Strength Morph might have been enough for a kill, but it's just not in range because they deforested this entire bottom lane. 4 trees. Even they're struggling. So they will hang on to the Morph lane. They defend the tower. It does prompt a TP reaction out from Ice Ice Ice, and meanwhile, looking at Spirit's item progression, we see the Chen now building towards his own mechanism. Nature's Prophet going to be grabbing the drum, so when this patch first dropped, Winter, Team Spirit, most of their games were very... We've seen the panel talk a lot about fast-paced Dota. They were one of the fastest teams, picking Lycan a lot, Prophet a lot, going for heavy push strats, trying to end games around even like TI4 era paces, sub 20 minutes at times, and not sure they're quite that committed to that strategy, but they definitely want to go for these objectives early on.
They have that sort of power, but at the same time, if game goes play, they have Wind Ranger and they have CK, so they have a backup plan. It's not like a all.
They have the insurance.
Yeah, that's the insurance policy.
Vici, unless they get a lot of farm here on the Ember, don't really have the best solutions for a CK.
Look at their network, they are really falling behind right now. Ember is like the least farm among the 3 cores, the Tide, the Ember and the Morphling. And if you compare it to Team Spirits, of course the Prophet and the CK are just leading by so much because of power goal, the kills they've been getting from the relocate and the Wrath, the Nature's Wrath. So Vici has to be able to fight around their Ravage. I think that's their best bet. They fight around the Ravage, get them back on the Tide, and try to avoid fights as much as they can when they don't have the big stuff.
Even though they have the Morphling Ember, and on paper it looks like more of the traditional late game lineup, it feels like they do have to team fight.
It's going to be difficult for them to farm because when it comes to mid game and CK probably has just one item like an armlet, and they have the relocate, it's always going to be very dangerous for you to farm around the map because they have so much to be able to kill you with relocate and the proper TP in.
And they can't kill a CK with armlet without the whole team, and certainly not without that Ravage. Not at this stage.
This CK is going to be really, really hard to deal with, and at some point Team Spirit are going to be able to force the enemy team to split up enough that they can also get low chance to get on the dire side.
Chi starting to clear out the Ancient stack for Ice Ice Ice. One of the later Ancient stack clears we'll see, but they've been very busy for Ice 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 to try and control things.
Mech.
So it will be his mech. There is a drum now complete on Super. Not the biggest items, but these are items that allow them to take fights. And though Spirit's also gearing up, it seems they'll come just in the nick of time. Goblack's mech not quite yet complete.
Yeah.
Berg's still working on his Aghanim Scepter on the Wind Ranger, and up top you can see Ramses hiding in the trees. Still does not quite have the armlet.
They do not have any vision, so they are not sure where the enemy team is. They are thinking that, oh, Vici has Ravage. They want to smoke, they want to pick us off, so they are playing extremely safe, but...
I mean, honestly, this is...
Ancient.
Vici normally is smoking right about now, but in this case they're not. So unfortunately for Spirit, the read not on point this time around.
I mean,
but
it's
a good read based on how Vici
They're just playing
plays.
safe, so no vision, you can't really try and be too risky against the Tide there. And because Super was also playing like, he looked like he was feeling really safe at the top lane. He was playing quite far up, so Team Spirit had the impression that this guy doesn't look like he's alone.
For fortunate here, because Iceberg has now picked up an Invisor and headed top.
Yep, so this is now the timing of Vici. They have the mech completed a little bit faster than Goblet. Goblet is still 500 gold short before he gets his mech, so they want to make sure that they utilize this timing to actually get as much objectives as they can, as much power as they can.
Pace of the game is overall slowing down now, not really seeing that helter-skelter aggression for hero kills.
Yeah, and right now because Team Spirit realized that Ravage is up, is up, you don't want to take a fight right now, so we get as much trade as we can. Any trade is fine for us until we get our mech and we feel that we can actually take a fight.
They do have a glyph available, wondering if they're even considering a defense, and in fact 3 heroes sprinting towards the middle lane now. Spirit They're hot to trot, perhaps gonna try and defend this tower. I still the big bully in front. And there's the armlet timing. Now complete the mech, only 140, 130 gold short. I mean, momentarily. And with those two items, you would expect Spirit to ramp up the aggression. Burning has gone for a Dominator in the meanwhile, so he's going more economy, Winter, and doing a pretty good job of keeping up, considering the amount of pressure his lane was under early. Seems Vici may try to basically play that more forward protect one with the Ember pushy a little bit, but also ready to join the fight. The Morphling primarily trying to pull ahead in terms of that work.
Yeah, this build is just more focused on jungle farming. You can leave the lane for your supports or whoever else that needs to catch up, because right now it's not only the Morphling that needs the space, the Ember needs the space as well. He can't be doing everything, so he needs to be more focused on jungling, so he's giving the lane to the Ember.
One thing though, they don't really have the best catch right now. Until Wind Ranger gets like a Blink Dagger or a Shadow Blade, or an Orchid on the Prophet, which it seems he's not going to go for, at least not quickly. Tough to catch a Morphling or an Ember.
I mean, the Prophet can definitely go for the Orchid this game. I think it's pretty good against the Ember and the Morphling, both those heroes, and you ideally want to force them to go defensive items, so it slows down their progression on getting aggressive items. So it could be a good item selection for Afterlife this game. But
Flash is coming mid. Ramses poking his head out there, waiting for the Wind Ranger to get in position. Iceberg is going to bait them out, takes them away to the top side, while meanwhile they're going to move in on the Morphling. Burning able to waveform back, will survive. Wind Ranger finding that shackle on Super, isolating, connects on the power shot. Remnant back right as they pull an isolate. They want to force out the Ravage. They will, as the Hand of God ready pops it now, completely negates the Ravage damage. They move on to Super, dragging him back in. Does he have another Remnant? He gets swamped out of the safety. Remnant's a little bit farther away. Will end up surviving. They keep him alive, but it's going to cost them support. Crystal Maiden down as well as the Venge. Morphling barely able to escape, so in the end, they hang on, and they do get the last hit on the tower. It goes the way of Burning.
Oh, can they get Roshan
But
as
with,
well?
yeah, with Ravage down, how do you fight into that pit?
So Afterlife is indeed going for the Orchid build, which is really, really good. So Roshan would be claimed by Team Spirit as well. I guess you put it on the CK. Yes, it's your strongest hero now. So it would give him much more opportunities to be really aggressive and just run in and tank for his team.
And Afterlife is going Orchid now, as we see one Oblivion Staff complete. Quarterstaff and Robe already grabbed as well. They're trying to throw Ice into the pit. They don't have the Ravage, but they're looking to take the fight anyway. Always want to fly low. The Ravage damage it is, and now kills them off. So they lose the Wisp. Start of the fight. The Aegis hits the deck. Immediate buyback from Always Want to Fly. He's going to rejoin it. Wind Ranger grabbing the Aegis. Sounds like trapped with it. He's low. He's going to drop. Vici Gaming taking the big 5v5 fight without the Aegis, without their Ravage, and coming out on top. They pop the Aegis. Always Want to Fly. This might be a dieback. He's going to get blasted by Birdie. Ramsey's up on the cliff. He's trying to TP out of the CK. At least will escape, but Always Want to Fly. That tether needs it now. Not going to happen. Drops as well. A massacre in the pit. They get rid of the Aegis. They kill the IO twice. They kill the Chen as well. That's 4 kills. And overall, it looks like a big win there for Vici Gaming.
I really did not expect them to be able to take the fight without the Ravage, but they were able to do so because a lot of the big spells were on cooldown. The Phantasm,
Hand of God was on cooldown.
Yeah, Hand of God, so they were able to enough damage to actually still win the fight, because Team Spirit didn't have most of their damage from Phantasm. And CK was also not at full HP because he was tanking the Roshan there. A good read by Vici, understanding they could actually take a successful team fight. And here comes Afterlife. He has his all completed already.
Ice. He could have gotten the Greaves now, but he's going to go back for the Blink, so potentially they can silence him, ignore him, try to kill some other heroes, and of course, now they've got some lockdown to deal with Super.
I mean, if you think about it, he's gonna be able to get his Ravage off regardless.
It's more about, does he get it off at the right time?
Yeah, you need to be able to get it off at a good position and at a good timing. So obviously the Blink Dagger helps more. I mean, it's still really good to complete Greaves at some point in this game against Orchid. So, but I would say the Blink is definitely much more important right now for his team.
Yeah, he'll have both soon enough. Ice. Right up there with the Burning as a leader in net worth for the team. So looking at the way the game's progressed, Winter, not the most satisfying Roshan fight for Spirit. They hold an advantage here, but considering how the game looked, it's not that overwhelming.
That was actually
what is the next step for them to try and really seize control?
That was really bad. They were actually quite far behind before, but the Roshan fight put them back in control. So for Vici and right now Team Spirit, I think that they need to focus on trying to get pickoffs. The map, try to use their relocate and Prophet's mobility to get pickoffs, and try to just go for the next stage where they get their BKB so that they can actually combat the Ravage. especially on the CK. I think he's the most important hero that needs to get the BKB, and obviously the Wind Ranger at some point as well.
Yeah, he gets a BKB, he dodges the Ravage, and he's basically immortal in these fights.
Not only the Ravage, think about it, like look at the Venge, the Ember, and the CM. Like all those heroes actually...
The E-Blade, actually,
Yeah.
as well.
All
For the
those-
first time in forever, we're not going to see Linkage here build on hold that thought. Ramses is moving into place. Ramses forward from isolate, trying to isolate the Wisp, bringing down off the bed. They have managed to control Ramses for now, even through the Phantasm. Yet to get a kill. Io down. Oh, well, decapitating the Crystal Maiden, turning back for a bit more. Perhaps not ravaging him, is going to end up causing them burning. Held in position by his son, the 10s here. He's arrived. The ghetto Io works his magic, suddenly cleaves down the Tidehunter. Off with his head as well, and that Mace of Doom just keeps on rolling. Gonna pull back one more. The back drops. It's a triple for Ramses, and it feels like he was a one-man army there. The Ember running away. They decided if they kill the back lines, the CK could be dealt with, and boy, Winter, were they wrong about that.
That was the reason why they lost the fight at the Roshan because they didn't have Phantasm. That was such a huge difference when they had Phantasm on, and not to mention...
And the Ravage
The
didn't
Ravage.
hit any of the Phantasm illusions.
The Ravage only was used behind on the Wisp alone.
It was the Wisp and either the Prophet or the Wind Ranger, but it was two of the backliners. They kill the IO, burning waveforms forward to do it, and then suddenly CK kills the enemy backliners.
You know the CK feels like Death Prophet when he has his ultimate up. It's so difficult to combat him. He's always so based around his ultimate. When he has his ultimate, he's just extremely strong. Even though Team Spirit lost the previous team fight, but they were still able to actually take this team fight successfully.
You know,
just
it's
because
funny
of the ultimate.
you mentioned Death Prop because the ult's really long. It's 140 seconds. You don't get Octarine on CK, at least not at this stage of the game. So
Maybe someone would try it and make it work.
I mean, I love Refresher CK later
Because
on.
if you think about the hero,
The ult is essentially
the ult is just basically what he needs.
the ult is the hero.
The ult, yep. To a certain point, yes, the ult is actually.
You get a
just-
Manta, it's kind of a ghetto ultimate, but they don't. Those illusions do not hit as hard as the Phantasm. All right, here we go now. BKB's up. Iceberg has completed an Aghanim Scepter.
Not to mention something important, they got some. Oh wait a
They're
minute.
moving
that's a
in. They
little
try to make a dive here. Tidehunter able to jump away just in time.
bit- Yeah, he got lucky in the last fight. He spawned an extra illusion from his Phantasm.
Ah, that's a good point.
Something that we always forget because it's like a new addition to the ultimate.
The relocate barely off the mark there. Isolate Dice lucky to get away, but here comes the chase forward. Spirit trying to pick up the two heroes. Shackle! Vici Gaming getting overrun now. Ember dies in a cloud of blood, and next on the list will be Burning. Blasted away by the Prophet ult. It's a slaughter in the Vici Gaming side of the map. Every last hero on Spirit survives. They rush on to the tier 2. These fights have been catastrophically bad for Vici Gaming.
And at this stage, they do not have enough AoE to deal with the CK illusions, and that fight was not even with the CK ultimate. It was just basically them getting overrun by that 2-man shackle from Iceberg there.
He's been quiet this game, but he came through when they
I
needed
think
him.
he had quite a good laning phase against the Ember, but that was his first big play for his team. Before that, it was just a Prophet and Chen, and obviously the relocate from the Wisp played by Always 105 making plays for his team. But right now, Team Spirit looks set to get this first set of melee.
Hey, what do you know? He got the extra illusion again.
Wow, okay.
Alright, well, that's great for demolishing the enemy base. So suddenly a Rax Poor Vici Gaming will be on the back foot here in game number 1. It's a best of 3, but the way this one appears to be headed, see Vici Gaming having to fight their way on match point 2 games in a row. They hope to advance.
And it's starting to feel like having the Ember and Morphling together on the same team was just way too greedy for their like the tempo is just way too slow. And Team Spirit, having the Prophet and Chen, their tempo is really quick. They always want to fight.
And there was room to improve maybe the early laning movement, and they still got a lot out of the offlane for Tidehunter,
we still
and
thought
it just didn't matter.
The Chen didn't actually accomplish at bottom, but the timing is still really quick. And Vici's weakness is we have to fight around Ravage. When we don't have Ravage, we cannot fight. And whereas for Team Spirit, yes, CK ultimate is really important for them, but at the same time, if you look at all the other heroes, everyone doesn't need to rely on their ultimates, they can just fight whenever. And CK without ultimate is still a force to be reckoned with. Yes, the Rift, he's still contributing to his team.
Another BKB complete now as Afterlife will grab one, and they're going to relocate in. They find Fenrir, the long range sprout connects, and God's avenged.
This is the threat of the Prophet and Relocate. It's just so difficult for support to play with when you're behind, because you have to go ward, and
You don't have your own wards a lot of the time. You
You're
don't
not
have vision
sure-
on them.
You're not sure if it's safe, but then you have to do it because you don't have vision.
There's no tower for your team to TP to either, so even if your team knows the gank's coming, it's harder to get in position, and... Well, it is only avenged, but it's yet another kill, and Spirit momentum continues to pile up.
They have to rely right now on burning, you know, to get pickoffs, so that they can actually buy enough time for their team to farm up, because right
But
now...
who are you killing? Chen's too tanky, 1400 health with Mech and Hand of God. Wind
the
Ranger
Wisp-
as an egg.
Wisp Glimmer Cape, so...
Wisp is too tanky. TK obviously you're not killing.
No,
He's got a Reaver.
I think you can only try to kill the Wisp. Like, you need to, like, waveform in, like, give him a couple of right clicks before you drop your nuke on him. And you need dust for that as well because of the Glimmer Cape.
Basically, we've determined he needs to kill heroes, and there's basically no good target.
He has to try.
But he must try.
I don't think there's any way around it. He has to try to get pickoffs.
Well, the thing is, it's not like Super can create space, so it falls to the Morphling. Tidehunter's just not that type of hero. You can't waste the ult for a pickoff at this stage, and thus Vici Gaming find themselves in quite quandary. And we hit the 25
They are in a very, very, very precarious position right now. Like, one more mistake means the game is just over for them right now. They have to be able to win the next team fight, but...
Top lane? FY also TPing out.
For Team Spirit right now, it's just about getting all the remaining towers, the outer towers, and wait for the next Roshan, and go for the high ground. I think with that timing, it's the best timing for them. It's the safest way of doing and executing it.
A record-breaking Chaos Knight performance. I think not too surprised to see it, given how well he's done. 8-0 on 6, 160 CS. The amount of aggression he's put on the map. Been impressive.
They are playing really, really impressive with this lineup. It's like more like the pace, you know. I'm really impressed by the pace. How fast they're actually playing the game. Like, there's not one moment that you feel like they're lacking Vici Gaming. Like, even when they feel like, oh, they have their legs, you can't fight them, but they're still doing something. Getting a tower trade, they're trying to place wards.
Top lane, they're making their move already. They get the silence off on Super, and they pull him back in with the kills. They the stun comes through 3 seconds, and it doesn't matter that he has a haste turn. He's dead as well.
With your head, Super. Battle Fury ain't gonna save you now. Oh my god, this is looking really, really
Iceberg is
scary.
also moving in. He's got an invis. More kills, more death for Vici, and it just keeps on getting better.
It's falling apart, Gorman, for Vici Gaming. And right now it seems like this Rex is in dire danger right now for Vici Gaming, the top lane.
They march forward. Spirit, written off by Capitalist as the worst team in the tournament, are about to take a game off of a team that many thought were the best. Vici Gaming are at least on that short list. They will kill off the Tidehunter illusion now. Moving forward to the tier 3 tower. They'll bring it down. They look for the melee racks. This will be their second lane. And that range racks mid looks awful tasty. They'll leave some illusions behind. Hack away at the range. They'll get that too. Vici trying to rat with burning on the Morphling, but he looks rather lonely and ineffective right now. You can see Afterlife doing his job as the Prophet, pushing in the bottom lane. Can't be killed by the shotgun unless he's really slow to react. Thus can be very aggressive.
Can't even kill the Prophet.
As the Morphling, who's had a pretty decent game overall in terms of farm, you're in trouble.
You're in a lot of trouble.
Would it be fair to say that their home is also in trouble?
Yes, their home is already in trouble. Just look at their base.
But I'm not feeling it.
Not feeling.
You have to be played for Vici to really give the emotion to it.
Look at their situation right now. They have to wait for Ember to farm another item, and they have to rely on the Morphling to get pickoffs, which...
TK has a heart. TK has 15 armor, 3600 health.
And a Wisp behind him.
God save you if he gets an illusion room.
Good luck killing the CK.
God save Vici. I mean, should he find an illusion room? Bottom lane, Jackal. Nice connection here by Iceberg. The setups continue. And the kills just keep on piling in.
This game is just out of control. There's nothing Vici Gaming can do right now. They might have to use the buyback. Team Spirit is going to try and force it. 35 seconds before Phantasm comes online. Hunter still has Rabbit, so they're gonna be able to force Morphing to buy back here.
It's the CK rushing in. He's looking for opening. Ramses knows only one way right now, and that is forward, beating away at the tower. He's tanky, has the BKB, might need a little bit of assist here from Complex. They're gonna try and maybe send it back out. BKB, they turn and they look to fight this Burning, definitely trying to burst down Goblin, can't quite do it, and now Iceberg turns. They swap him back out, get that Morphling out to safety, try to keep him alive, but he has already to his buyback, can't afford to lose him twice, and career gets clobbered. That put 900 damage crit from Ramses, and FY stands in the middle of all. Pomsky Open is doing decent damage. They've held on to the Ravage. Vici Gaming are turning it. Goblet being forced back. Ramses in danger. Always want to flash here to try and keep him alive. The armlet toggles desperately at that, but his IO's up top to jump. No! Oh, he gets out. The relocate saves him. Now the question is, does anybody come back with this little old IO? Do these old friends stick together, or do they sacrifice the ball? They're bringing them both back, and they're moving in. They feel like Vici Gaming have blown their load, and they can turn this one. They pull in one. They start to get to work here. Iceberg rejoins the fight, and a team spirit on round 2 might just be able to turn this on its head. Burning, already buying back once, can't afford to die again, and he's slowly working out. Always want to fight, kills off the IO. Ember buys back as well. Madness in the bottom lane. Somebody win the fight already. Ramses gets stunned, locked out and controlled. Finally he'll drop. That's the Beyond Godlike streak. And they didn't even crack the tier 3. The tier 4s are under siege though. And that ends up being a massive win for Vici Gaming. Granted they had to buy it back, but they hang on and they avoid the mega creeps.
Pretty good for Team Spirit because they were able to force the buyback. But they were just too confident there. They could have just left the Wiz to die, but they decided that, okay, we're gonna try to fight with our CK.
I like that. That's a great love story.
And you know, and when Iceberg was like, he was already out of that and saw his team. Okay guys, we're doing this, I'm going back in. Oh, well.
You gotta stand by your lover.
Yep.
And they did.
I mean, I don't even blame them because of the position they're in. They're just so far ahead. And Afterlife here doing some cliff jungling, you know, why not? Why not?
They've also got a Mjolnir now they can throw on the main CK in the next fight. So, as you pointed out, I mean, technically, gold win for Vici Gaming, but it's a relatively slight one, and immediately Spirit just go back to pushing out the lanes. They've still got the map control advantage here.
That fight was
and they can slow the game down if they need to.
That fight was just like Isos being really patient with Ravage. He waited the BKB from Ramses out, and obviously the CM ultimate as well, combined with the Ravage, just dealt too much damage to the whole team of Team Spirit. And they have to be really careful not to fall into that trap again if you're Team Spirit.
It seemed they were a little indecisive. They let Ramses lose about half his health.
They were just
then he walked back.
They were just a bit too relaxed because they were in such a...
I mean, who wouldn't be? Let's be honest. When your CK is just running around decapitating everybody on the enemy team, and he's not even the most farmed hero.
But after that, you know, after that fight, it's like a wake-up call for Team Spirit. They can actually still win a fight, so we have to be very careful and patient with how we use our BKBs. We must make sure that every time we pop our BKBs, we have to kill heroes. Can't just run around and just be really...
And if you're gonna fight, then, you know, might as well BKB and go in right away, not lose his health, sort of back away, and then try to turn and take the fight.
Yeah, as long as...
We'll see if they're more decisive.
Team Spirit do it properly, and he gets another...
Oh, 5 CKs. They're tanky too. Ice's trying to deal with them there with the anchor set, but already the creeps come marching in. He's not going to be able to hold this Ravage forever. He gets highlights up, controlled, and there's a 2-hero check on the back. Let's finally pump the Ravage. But Afterlife BKBs and Ramses just takes to it. Iceberg's absolutely fine, and they quickly slaughter the Rax. It's mega creeps, and momentarily Vici Gaming are going to be playing for throne defense. Fenrir down, Ramses turning, gets nuked down by the Morphling a little bit, but they can't pump. Now he's forced to wave back. The Shackle's going to follow him. Ice. While he's able to crack it up, Burning's not so lucky. Super trapped in the drop. That's 4 dead. It's a massacre. Vici Gaming cleaned up and taken out. Spirit. Dominant. A slow laning stage, and then things dropped off a cliff.
Spirit with a strong spirited performance there. Man, the whole team shines so well, like always want to fight with the early game saves with his Wiz keeping in. Like, even though he did not save Iceberg at one point, but he managed to delay, like, it was so crucial in the early game that he delayed the death and bought enough time for his team to come in to get all the return kills. And not to mention, like, tempo of the game was so quick because the whole